Good evening, Premier Planet. Justin Barlow here with you inside the Premier Studio in Woodstock, Illinois, where we just wrapped up PPW 54. That's right, 54 events, and we just keep on going. First match of the evening, two up-and-comers from the Premier Academy, Max Cruz and Scott Colton, head-to-head. Special 10-minute time limit on this one. Unfortunately, the 10-minute time limit expired before either man could get a pinfall or a submission or a counter or a DQ. So neither man walking away with the victory in that one, but Premier CEO Rockin' Randy, he was so impressed with what he saw, as were everybody here in the Premier Studio, that he decided to give these guys a rematch in 2 weeks, and that date is June 13th. Mark it on your calendar. Go, right now, pause this, I'll wait. Did you mark it? Okay. Next match, we have the Science Marcus Smith taking on a returning Premier Academy student, Shaky Jake Daniels, who's been away from Premier for a while. Marcus Smith, of course, we've seen his attitude kind of progress over the weeks. He thinks he's the man with his muscles and his protein whey, super duper scooper powder, whatever it is. He thought Shaky Jake, having been out of the ring for a while, was going to be so rusty that he was just going to walk right over him. Shaky Jake, though, full of surprises. He caught Marcus off guard so many times. Marcus finally had to resort to cheating, putting his feet on the ropes to get a pin on Jake Daniels. The referee was in the ring raising Marcus's hand. Marcus is celebrating, doing victory laps, and out comes Irish Andy Anderson. Andy informs the ref that Marcus Smith had his feet on the ropes. Of course, Marcus is in there, no I didn't, debating and fighting with the ref. Finally, the ref decides to switch the decision, gives the match to Shaky Jake Daniels. Marcus Smith throws a tantrum, demands a match with Irish Andy Anderson, which he got, and which he pretty soon regretted, because Andy Anderson, 15-year veteran in this business, been with Premier since the beginning. He made pretty easy work of the Science Marcus Smith. So, you know what they say about karma, Marcus. I won't say it here because we're trying to keep it PG, but you know what I'm saying. Next match, we had former tag team partners collide as the Urban Rebellion Cuda Crosby took on Chase Gossling. These guys are former two-time Premier Pro Wrestling World Tag Team Champions together, and tonight they really showed why, because these guys tore the house down. So together, and if you go back to our YouTube page, watch some of their old matches from the past, you'll see why these two were two-time Premier Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Now, weirdly enough, Chase Gossling, he kind of lost his mind during the match. He started attacking Cuda and just kind of taking a few shortcuts here and there. And unfortunately, Cuda Crosby, he let his emotions get a little bit too much of him, and Chase Gossling was awarded the match, much to Cuda's dismay. Now, these two also have a rematch coming up, as was demanded emphatically. And these two will go head-to-head on June 13th. Again, mark it on your calendars. Up next, we had the incredible Atlas J. Horn taking on Outlaw J. Cross in a super heavyweight showdown. Atlas also been away from Premier for a little while, came back as hot as ever, but Atlas being Atlas, J. Cross is coming out the entryway. Atlas jumps him, starts laying the hurt on him. We thought this match was going to be over early, but Outlaw J. Cross never, ever to be taken for granted. He gets right back into it. He starts laying into Atlas. Atlas had a couple of comebacks, but eventually Outlaw J. Cross won the victory over Atlas, while Atlas was left standing in the ring with his hands on his head going, what the heck just happened? So Atlas J. Horn, not really the return he was hoping for, but congratulations to J. Cross. After that, we saw Premier veteran Elite EJ Jensen, who's been with this company since the beginning, for almost 3 years now, taking on newcomer Inestra in his only third Premier match. Eddie, another case of taking the new guy lightly. These two fought it out for a good, probably 15 minutes. Inestra just showing his heart and his determination, but EJ Jensen, going to those tactics that he likes to use, started working on the left knee of Inestra, which was finally Inestra's downfall. EJ Jensen getting the win in that match. And after that, we had our main event, triple threat match for the Premier Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. It was Mr. Intensity Alex Bernardino, the world exclusive Matt Vine, and the champ, the Persian powerhouse, Malad Akbar. Triple threat rules, one fall to a finish. It looked like so many times each one of these guys might walk out with the gold. And at one point, we were actually treated to a double camel clutch in the middle of the ring. I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen one of those before. And at the end, it was finally Malad Akbar once again, who walked away with a victory. And here's how it happened. Matt Vine threw a super kick from the apron, hitting his former tag partner, Alex Bernardino. Unbeknownst to him, Malad was working on the momentum to roll Alex up for a victory, and that kick was just what Malad needed. So Matt Vine was left a little red-faced because he kind of cost himself the victory in that one. But after that, he and Malad kind of put all that aside, and they decided to lay a hurt on Mr. Intensity. These guys, the kicks, the hits. Bernardino, he tried to come back, but the odds were not in his favor. Matt Vine goes out, grabs a steel chair, puts it around Bernardino's neck. It looked like he was going to try and hurt Bernardino, put him out permanently, break his neck, and who comes out? Outlaw J. Cross, the consummate professional. And Outlaw J. Cross and Alex Bernardino chased Malad and Vine out of the ring and demanded a tag team match for our next show, June 13th. It's going to be Outlaw J. Cross and Mr. Intensity Alex Bernardino teaming up against the world-exclusive Matt Vine and the Persian Powerhouse, the premier pro wrestling heavyweight champion, Malad Akbar. Again, June 13th. Mark it on your calendars. I can't say it enough. We had a great show tonight, and our goal is always to top ourselves from the time before, so you are not going to want to miss this. The biggest event of the summertime for Premier Pro Wrestling. Come on out June 13th. Doors open at 7. Bell time is 7:30. Bring your family. Bring your friends. We'll see you there.